filling in the letters of the quote for October, I knew that I wanted to use the same colors throughout the entire month. Those were going to be great to have you back with me today.
Green.
I liked the quote for October. October is about trees revealing colors they've hidden all year. People have an October as well. This is a personal quote for me by J.M. Storm because I've noticed in my personal relationships things have begun to change dramatically. So I wanted to show that in my illustration. I'm starting with the mirror you might recognize from Beauty and the Beast for the word reveal. The word reveal is very revealing. It tells what we want to see. Some things stay hidden as is mentioned in the quote. After that, I'm drawing texture lines on my tree. I thought it was really creative of me to put the word tree in the branches of the tree itself, because as fall comes, the leaves are falling and our branches start to become bare, and you can start to see the way they contort. I'm just going over some of the lettering to make it a little bit easier to see, a little more bubble lettery, and some places cursive for slight emphasis. The bullet journal will show the bubble letters colored in for the theme of the month of October. October, I knew that I wanted to use the same colors for the entire month. So I thought of the colors of leaves changing on trees. We still have orange, green, and red, but instead of yellow, I wanted to use purple. Orange, green, purple, and red are all Halloween colors. Orange can be a skin tone or for pumpkins. Green can be for moss or decaying flesh. Purple can be for witches or magic. And red can be for blood, like vampires. You'll see what I mean as we get to a page later in the spread. For those beginners that are just starting to use bullet journaling or maybe making school projects, if you follow this simple trick, you'll always have a very colorful project. Figure out how many colors you're using, then skip the spaces so that you're only opening and closing that one color one time for each one of those colors. You'll see as I do one of my letters, I did skip and mess up, so I went back. It's okay to make mistakes. That's what learning is all about. technique in coloring to make your work look polished is to start with a darker border, tracing the outside of whatever image you're coloring, and then add your accent colors. You can have the same color for your details, and then a lighter color for the inside for some contrast. Your eye wants something fun to look at. Also, a neat tip for working in a bullet journal or in a notebook of some sorts is to have scrap paper under the page so that if you go to the border, you're not dirtying your work surface or your next pages underneath. This is important in using watercolors and markers, and often other paints as well. I love the look of abstract coloring with the different colors of our autumn leaves. So I've matched up my colors of purple, yellow, red, green, and orange all over the page, avoiding my revealing Last month, I thought it was important to mimic our school theme with some sticky notes colored yellow. I realized that coloring on the inside of whatever you want to write on might make it tricky to write in pen over it. So this month, I decided to use outlines of spooky creatures and other objects for Halloween. I found these images and printed them out. Some weren't the size that I wanted, so I made myself a border and cut out my border, mimicking that. Then I just continue to trace. I have 4 on each page. Each page spread of 2 pages will be 1 week, so I'll need 4 weeks total. And I know there's only 7 days in a week. The last one, again, is for any quotes or weekly notes that I may have. I thought it was really clever that I separated it out so there were 2 ghosts per page and then 2 other objects. And I'm patting myself on my back a little bit for the tomb on Tombsday. Gotta love a pun. Yet again, I'm using those same 4 colors repeated throughout to outline my images. And then I'll be coloring the outside of these images with a light gray, just for the ominous feel of Halloween, maybe a hazy night. After I've completed all 4 full weeks of Halloween in the weekly spreads, I thought it was important to work on my mood meter. I've seen ideas of this for as long as I can remember in things like Scooby-Doo and what have you. So I wanted to use a spooky house or a haunted house and use each of the windows for the days of the month for my moods. So I designed my spooky castle. I counted out how many windows I would need, and if I divided them into 4 sections or 3 sections, how much I would need. And then I added some different figures for the month of Halloween. So there's a witch to the right and a mummy in the doorway. Up at the top of the page, I have my key of how I'm going to show my mood throughout the month. Orange will be for my angel, green will be for my zombie, purple will be for my witch, and red will be for my vampire. Those coincide with happy, okay, kinda sad, and depressed. Let's hope not to see purple and red. From there, I decided it was time to color my haunted mansion. And for that, I'm choosing a simple black. Black should make everything pop really well. since my calendar pages have a background of gray, I figured gray would be an okay option for the background of my haunted mansion, but it might feel a little redundant. So I chose a combination of dark colors that weren't black so they would still have the mansion pop. But I wanted some blues in there for a navy blue night, some purple haze in there, and some gray as if muddy or dirty. I'm just finishing off my mood meter with a few extra creepy crawly creatures, some spider webs and some spiders coming out. I think this gives the page a little bit more creativity and pull for your eye. And it looks like the light is on behind our mummy. For the final spread of my October bullet journal, other than the playlist that will come at the end of the month, I decided I wanted to work on very much the same skills as I did last month. However, I wanted to keep the Halloween theme. So, instead of brushing teeth, this month I will be taking care of my fangs with this cute picture of lips with some fangs at the top. On the right hand side, instead of writing with a diary and a pencil, I've chosen writing with a Ouija board signer. It has an opening for the letters on the Ouija board. Following that, instead of reading random books, I have a book of spells or a book of shadows or a grimoire. And last but not least, which took me probably the longest amount of time to color, was my exercise. And I did another pun there, spelling it exorcise. like getting rid of demons. And the image was a nod to Michael Jackson's Thriller. I hope you liked this bullet journal spread. Maybe try some of the styles yourself, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks and have a great day.